in, I think that thing's dead. The CCS. Oh, actually, I really don't know. We'll see how this goes. Just thinking this is like an extended. What the? Hello guys, Mr. Every312 and welcome to a new AI fleet battle. I know it's been frickin' forever. I've been lazy as hell over Christmas break, and before I even start, I gotta apologize. I haven't even started the Battlestar Galactica ships. I feel absolutely terrible. Today, though, we're gonna start a Halo series, which will probably just be like 3 episodes. That's because I've gotten a couple requests, and I would do Battlestar Galactica, but I have some Halo ships on backup already, so we're pretty much set up for that. I'm just so glad to be back doing this. Right now, like I said, I just got lazy, so now that we're actually doing it, I think this will be pretty fun. Let me show you the ships. As you see over here, we have the human ships. Right now, I just have a capital ship and a escort class for both fleets, like a Covenant and human. And these two over here were the first two that I built, and I think they turned out really nice. And in case you're wondering how I'm doing all these kind of sweet cinematic sweeps, during this battle, I'm going to be experimenting with a camera drone, just to kind of make these really nice sort of sweeps that with spectator mode you really cannot do, because you notice like we have these kind of nice melded turns. So we'll see how that goes. So let's look first at probably my favorite human ship of all time, the Halcyon class cruiser. I believe it's the light class. Anyone who knows Halo much, especially who played the first game, Combat Evolved, will know this ship very well. It's basically where the whole series started, and it's not a full capital class ship, but it's heavily armored and comes with a lot of weapons, and it comes with like a heavier mat gun or like a rail cannon in the nose, which is what you see there. And this ship features a variety of mods. By the way, I'm not going to really show you the interior because there's not really much to be shown there. But first, basically I'll show you around the mods. Actually, one of the most important mods that I found is no turret lasers. You see these turrets, they're online and active and moving around, and they're not projecting those annoying little lasers that kind of get in the way of everything. And I know I like it not having them there. Alright, and the second mod I'll show you in a bit is tracers. So like the Covenant ships will fire blue bullets, and the human ships fire white bullets. Let's see what other mods are there. I actually designed the Halcyon as a ship that was actually intended to have a human commander, like to be piloted around, as you'll see by all these fixed weapons. This is not a turret. These are called the autocannons, the large ship variant by what's his name? By Ninja Pirate, I believe. And they provide some significant punch when all fired at once, which is what they're meant to do. And here in the nose, it's kind of like another Ninja Pirate mod, only it's by someone else. It's actually a tank cannon design. It provides a lot of punch, but it fires really slow. And of course, these missile turrets are pretty standard, except there's a mod that allows me to kind of back them into the armor and give them extra protection. These Gatling turrets, they're actually not standard Gatling turrets, they're scatter turrets. Another thing by Adara, the guy who did the laser tracers. They have the accuracy of like a sneeze, but for cinematics they're pretty cool. And then there's the anti-torpedo launchers, which are really slow. Whoa! Okay, sorry about that little mess up. It seems that I offended the little Paris class, and the Paris class is like, I want to go over here. Anyway, so that's the Halcyon. Other mods include these beautiful armor ramps by Uncle Steve. Without him, we wouldn't be able to make decent looking Covenant ships. Oh, doggone it, I hit him again. So all in all, I found actually, even with all these missiles and Gatling turrets, and even with a human in control, these Halcyon classes are actually very underpowered. I have no idea why, but you'll see soon. It may depend in the battle. And then let's go to my second favorite ship in the Halo franchise, the Paris class frigate. This is like, I believe an Amber class from Halo 2 is a Paris class. Forward Up to Dawn is a Charon class, which is more designed as a carrier because it has the Hainer bays. The Paris class has no Hainer bays, it has, I think, tougher armor. Here in the nose is Ninja Pirate's CSD battle cannon, which provide if you can remote control these, by the way. If you decide to remotely control a frigate, you can use it as a mat gun, and while it doesn't really do much direct damage to an enemy ship, if you're a good shot, you can snipe out enemy turrets with it. And here are the auto cannons. Unfortunately, I don't like these that much because they're outrageously overpowered, although not the worst, I guess. And you can hear them from so far away. But I had to choose these weapons, the scatter turret and the autocannon turret, because with the tracers mod active, they're the only guns that fire white bullets. Otherwise, everyone would be firing blue bullets, and that's not what I want for the human ships. So yeah, these are the human fleet, and I will be expanding on the human fleet soon. I'm gonna go to spectator mode so we can go check out the Covenant ships. Now over here is the Covenant fleet, comprised of the well-known CCS class battle cruiser and a SVD corvette, which is heavily featured in Reach, and the CCS class is probably the most common Covenant capital ship in their fleet. This is like the ones you'll see dozens of surrounding the carriers and everything. And as you see, it doesn't have as many weapons as the Halcyon. I think like 6 Gatling turrets which fire blue bullets, and then 2 missile launchers. But surprisingly, this thing can easily overwhelm a Halcyon. And I'm not really sure why, but here, as you can see, the armor ramps make this thing so much easier. I mean, you can make the largest emphasis on Covenant ships is the curves and like the long, elegant lines of the hull, and I think I'm really thankful that Uncle Steve took the time to make that mod. This is the SVD Corvette, which is really only ever talked about or shown much in Halo Reach, and really not my favorite ship, just because it's kind of weird compared to the others. Looks like some kind of plankton compared to these things looking like giant fish or whales. Here it's armed with these small ship Gatling turrets and will fire blue bullets, and they're a little more powerful than the standard bullets there, and I think they're better for intercepting missiles. Oh, by the way, all ships, including the human ones, are well stocked with warheads, just so there's not these huge husks lying around with all the reactors gone, just so like there's less wreckage and they're not huge, they don't look like intact wrecks. So that's the Covenant fleets, and I am really proud of the CCS. It turned out gorgeously. I mean, look at it. It actually looks like it. And also, before we begin the battle, I'm going to show you a size comparison. Let's see. We copy our CCS class and take it over here and show the hologram next to our Halcyon. Hold on a minute. It should be about there. As you can see, it's actually significantly longer than Halcyon, and I think that proportion is actually about right. Let's see, if we take it down here though, the Halcyon appears to be taller, but I think the mass of the CCS is actually higher, and I don't know why the Halcyon isn't as strong as the CCS. The CCS has a lot less weapons and more warheads in it. Yeah, I just can't seem to figure that out. And then if we go over here, and we can compare our SVD core. Oops. Now, if we go over here and see, copy one of these and take it over and place it next to a Paris class, I believe the proportions are also perfectly good there. Well, obviously not perfect. There he is. There he is. Okay, there we go. I had to get over the top. Come on. I'm not exactly good at judging this. There we go. So yeah, that looks like about right. If anyone's played Halo Reach and seen like you played in I think it's like a Long Night of Solace, where the Paris class Savannah fights off against a SVD Corvette, this looks about right to me. I think that's pretty good.
cruisers fire at will. Burn their mongrel hides.
This is Fleet Admiral Harper. We are engaging the enemy.
And there we go. The battle, I don't know, it turned out interesting. Both sides suffered very similar losses. One capital ship pretty much completely destroyed. This Autumn is in horrific shape. It's just scrap. And same with this CCS. It's just the middle section left, and looks like its head is drifting out to the port, and or whatever that is. And then looks like this Halcyon took very little damage. And as such, since it pretty much covered this frigate, the frigate took no damage whatsoever. The Halcyon and 2 frigates are gone. 2 of the SVDs are gone, except for the spire piece. That's pretty much all that's left. Seems that basically both sides have most of a capital ship left and a frigate left, or an escort anyway. This SVD seems to have suffered no damage, and this thing, as I saw a little while ago, it was still shooting at some wreckage left from an earlier test. So it's just kind of sitting there, but it looks like it's pretty much all its propulsion, but maneuvering is gone. It's not going to be able to slip space out, and I'm sure the UNSC will send in another Halcyon to finish that sucker right off, along with that guy. In fact, let's do that. Whoops, reinforcements is slip spaced in. I think that thing's dead. The CCS, oh, actually, I really don't know. We'll see how this goes. Just thinking this is like an extended. Oh, what the? Oh, I should have told you all about that. There seems to be this weird derp about the Halcyon. I don't know why it does that, but it goes completely belly up on occasion. Oh gosh. Oh man, that's such a waste of a good cruiser. Okay, well, reinforcements are slip spaced in again. YOLO. Yeah, that ought to finish. Oh, looks like they got the SVD Corvette, and now the CCS is all that's left. That is a bummer about the Halcyon. I don't know what happens. Maybe they break off a piece in the nose, and it kind of does like those rotors used to do. It would just bug out and boing. This is taking longer than I thought. This is what I was saying. The CCS classes are actually so much more durable, even with all the warheads and reduced weapons. They just seem to have a lot of surface mass, and the more the surface mass, I mean, an object has, the longer it takes to destroy, no matter how many guns you got. So, oh, there we go. This should be the last of the mop-up. The cruiser's like, you'll never get me alive! Han Dukin in slow-mo! You can do it. You can do it. Did you actually get a hit? Yeah, you kinda did it, but, didn't even really nick the cruiser, so... Yeah, that was my first Halo AI battle. I hope you guys enjoyed the results. I will be taking requests on ships to make, but I have a couple prerequisites. It can't be any bigger, if it's human, it can't be any bigger than the Halcyon, or maybe just a wee bit bigger. If it's going to be a big ship, I'm going to have to look for it on the workshop, and because I just don't have time to do that, especially now that school's starting up again. And if it's Covenant, I don't want to be it bigger than the CCS. I mean, not that there really is any need for that. Pretty much if I do a big ship Halo battle, it's just going to be like the big ship by itself versus like some smaller ships. So maybe I'll do Infinity, or maybe I'll do like the Spirit of Fire Phoenix class. Who knows? I actually did find a pack of ships that, so I really don't need to build any more human ships. So, and then the Covenant ones, yeah, I really don't need much more than the CCS, but if you'd like to see something smaller than the CCS class, comment down below, and I'll see if I can build it. Thanks to these armor ramps, I can do so much. God, I got one hell of a mess to clean up. While I go get this mess cleaned up, I'll leave you to finish off with a sweet-ass cinematic.
Cortana, all I need to know is, did we lose them?
I think we both know the answer to that.